Hey YouTubers, today I wanted to talk about the ProMags. This is a 22 long rifle ProMag. I believe it's 25 or 30 rounds, not sure. I put 25 into this. And what I was finding was we took these to the range, and I'll show you some pictures of what was happening. I was getting through about 7 to 10 rounds every time, and what would happen is, as you can see, the bullet is facing slightly upward, and what would happen is after about 10 rounds that nose of that bullet would be aiming down, and what would be happening is that the slight lip that is at the back of the shell would be behind the lip of the shell above it, and of course that round is aiming way too far down, and it ends up hitting the ramp. And when it does that, basically I was splitting the front of the bullet. It was catching right in the front of the bullet, and I don't know if you can see that well, but it was just chopping the bullet right in half, right down the middle, and jamming it up. So because of that, I had to make some changes here and find out what was the issue. Now I made a change to this mag, and the change worked very well. I tried a few different things, and the final one was thinning out the area where the shells go inside the mag. It was a little bit too wide, and it was allowing the shells to jump past each other while the gun was cycling. I didn't have, this is the 10 rounder that came with the SIG 522, and of course we were shooting through 10 rounds so quick it seemed like we were reloading more than anything, so I wanted to get some bigger mags so we wouldn't have to spend all of our time reloading. Now right now the gun's currently empty. The gun is clean. It was clean. What I've been doing is cycling rounds through. So what I've got here is I've got the mag in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a round in the chamber, and I'm just going to chamber through the rounds until I get the issue. There. And I don't know if you can really see that, but the round is jammed right up against the front of the ramp that would feed it into the barrel. So I will clear this. Okay, gun is clean, and again I got through 10 or 15 rounds, but now what you can see is this round is facing down. So this is going to do the same thing. It's going to jam right up against the end of the ramp and cause the same issue. So what I was doing with these PMags was making a slight adjustment. As you can see, I can't push this one out because the rim of this shell is behind the rim of the shell in front of it, or below it. So it's totally jammed up. So give me a second to unjam this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to also, just to save you the trouble of looking at it, I'm going to remove these 6 screws, 5, 6. I'm going to remove the spring plate from the bottom, and I'm going to remove all the rounds from it. That comes out pretty easily, and then I'll remove the rest of the rounds from there, and then I'll be right. Okay, and just to give you a little bit more detail, the rounds that I am using, wasn't having any issues with the 10 round mag again. I am using CCI Mini Mag 22lrs. No issues with these. Every one has been a good shot. It's just these mags were jamming up. So again, I removed the 6 screws, and there are 6 little tiny nuts on the other side. You make sure you capture all of those. And we split the mag in half. Now what's going on is these shells have too much room to move forward and back. You know, they need a little room, but this is just way too much, and it's allowing for what you're seeing here is that that's the way they're all supposed to fit together, where that is on top of that. Well, they're getting like that, and what it does is it pushes the other round nose down, and it won't feed properly. So what I wanted to do was take up some of that slack. So I tried a few different things. I tried my fills, where the other thing I noticed too was there was a lot of room for this follower that feeds the shells up. So what I did was I actually added some, where is it? Some JB Weld. Put a dab of JB Weld on the back side, and same issue, same problem. Then I also put, besides the dab on the back corner here, I also put a dab on top. Again, same problem. And when I get to the last round, this dab on the top was pushing that last shell. That last shell was aiming up in the air, so I popped both of those off. But what I did do is I've got this special, very slippery tape. It's not a regular masking tape. It's a Scotch 8898 tape. I think it's kind of slightly specialized. And what I did was I layered 6 layers of tape along this back edge. 6 layers here, and 6 layers on the corresponding surface on the other half. What I'll do is I'll save you the time of watching me do that again. Basically, I lay the layer in, and I slice it off with a razor knife. I was just using a regular TK blade, a regular knife blade, packing knife blade, slicing it off, slicing off the ends nice and clean, and not getting too close, because of course this edge ramps up. It's got a little curve to it, and I don't go too high, so I go just high enough so that I do not interfere. I don't go past this surface on the top. So that surface to this surface here, run 6 layers on top of each other. When I come back, I'll show you how I did those 6 layers, and I'll kind of give you an idea of how much material was at. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what I do is I cut a piece of tape, I laid it in there, took the side of my screwdriver and rubbed it up to make sure I had good adherence to that surface. Then what I'm doing is, and it's a little tricky on one side because there are, as you can see, there are pins that stick up, so you kind of have to work around the pins as you're cutting. On this side here, this one of course has the sockets, so I just basically get myself started here, and then I just work my way down. Actually, I think I'm going to change this blade out because it's getting worn out. You need a nice sharp blade to do this. You just slice down the length of it, and I'll do this 6 layers. So just want to show you one piece and how it's done. When I get down to the end, I don't really worry about it. I just get the blade in there and slice it off. Okay, I'll be back after I've got 6 layers put on. Okay, I'm back. I've applied 6 layers of tape to this side, 6 layers of tape to this side. So now, when the 2 rounds are there, there's still room for the round to move around, but there is not enough room for them to slip past each other. So these will always ride the right way. They cannot bounce around and flip past each other. So again, I'm going to just pop these back together, screw them together. This goes together fairly easily. Just got to watch out. I had one stripped screw that would not work right, so I may have to dig up a replacement screw for it, but it's simple enough. Just screw these 6 screws back in, and then I will load this thing up for you and run it back through and cycle it to show you how much of a difference has been made. So I'll be right back as soon as I get this done. And okay, mags I'll put back together. Very simple. Put the spring back in and everything slides freely internally. I've got 25 or 26 rounds in here. Pop it in, and you can see that you know, these mags are pretty loose, even the original 10 round mag. But you can see those rounds are sitting in there very nicely. And let's see if we can make this cycle through. Whoop. It cycled right. It was just me. I thought it was not feeding. And that mag is empty. So, okay, I'm 2 for 2. Got both of these mags. Both of these mags now have that tape in there. I will have to keep an eye on the tape right at the top and make sure that that doesn't fold over. If it folds over, I'm done. This is these are probably made out of, it looks like they're made out of nylon. Not much sticks to nylon, very good lubricity, you know, things slide around on it easily. So I'll have to keep an eye on that tape. I know it's got a very good adhesive on the back of it, but I'll have to keep an eye on it over time and see if it's going to fail or not. I'm sure there might be a better way to do this, but I just know that when I did this, I had no issues. And just as a double check here, just so you guys get an idea of what thickness this tape is. Looks like it's only about 5 thousandths thick. I put 6 layers on, so that's 30 thousandths. 30 thousandths, that's all it took. Now if ProMag could add, removed this steel safe change, remove 30 thousandths from their tool and make that wall come in by 30 thousandths, I wouldn't have to go through this. I think altogether for both of these it took me probably about 40 minutes, about 20 minutes a piece. Once I knew what the fix was, this change went very quickly. I just figured I'd share this with you for those, because I couldn't find any YouTube videos out there with anybody having this issue. I did, and because I couldn't find anything, I figured I'd try to figure it out. You know, short of returning these things, but to me it was a challenge to make them work. So I hope you guys found this useful, and if you guys have any comments on alternative ways to fix the mags, or you've done something differently, oh, definitely VR me back, or, you know, just message me and let me know what you guys are doing to fix your ProMags, because they shouldn't be coming from the factory like this. This should have been a pop in the gun and start using. Again, hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to say I'm going to do a follow-up video after I've taken this to the range, just to confirm that everything works the way it's supposed to work. And besides the CCI, I've also got some Federal, and I'll be trying that out just to see if there's differences in round length between CCI and Federal. If there is, I'll be able to identify whether it's a round issue or whether it's just the mag that's an issue. Again, thanks for watching.